What is good, y'all? So today I'm going to be showing you my calisthenics mobility routine that has helped me out with my lifting and also unlocking my calisthenics skills. So first of all, I always start off with my legs, and just so you know, we're going to be using a resistance band. I use a resistance band for some of my stretches, but I start off with my legs. I just go straight into a squat. Okay, and don't worry if you can't get all the way down. My heels are still a little bit lifted off the ground because I haven't like fully warmed up yet. But my goal by the end of my stretching is to get my heels like on the ground and to be able to like really reach the deepest amount of stretch that I can get. But the way how I get better at that is just by going up and down like a little bit, and I go from side to side, just really like focusing on my ankles, because this is what helps me out with my pistol squats. I try to make sure that my ankles are fully flexible, because that's the biggest thing that people suffer with when trying to do pistol squats. Their ankles are too stiff, and that's the reason why you can't get all the way down. So just try to focus on your heel and also your tendons to like try to push them towards the ground while you're shifting left to right. So that's what I'm doing right now, and I can already feel myself loosening up a little bit in my ankles. But after I do that, I start to shift my weight forwards and start to do a stretch for my quads. And I try to separate my quads too. I don't put them together when I'm doing this. I'm stretching my quads outwards, and I try to reach as far as I can on the ground. Almost make it's like your knees are about to touch the ground. So I do that. Just gonna keep on stretching my ankles a little bit more. Okay, so now after I did that, now I'm gonna start to practice the pistol squat. So I don't just hop straight into one pistol squat. I'm gonna focus on one leg. I'm gonna start with my right leg, and I'm gonna take my left leg. I'm gonna try to tap the ground a little bit forward, okay? And each tap, I'm trying to get a little bit further out from my body. So that's another tap, and another tap, okay? So I'm gonna do that for the other leg now. 1, 2, 3, okay? And now I'm ready to practice one pistol squat. So I might not be able to get it the first time, but this is all about loosening up your body. So bring your leg out forward and try to really keep that heel planted onto the ground. Okay, your weight might have to go a little bit forward so that you don't fall backwards, and just try to keep your body as still as it can be. All right, my heel's on the ground right now, and now it's about getting up. All right, so now I know that my right leg is fully warmed up now. Now I have to do it on my left leg, and just the same exact thing. Try to keep my body as stable as possible, and you go back up. So now they're warmed up now. I feel pretty confident, and I'm able to do them pretty well now. Okay, and I just woke up too. I didn't stretch before this, and I also like to stretch out my hamstrings too by just like reaching over, touching my toes. Okay, this is all lower body that I'm working on. Okay, and with these exercises, they also help out my squats too, because as lifters, you don't really focus on stretching your ankles or your lower body, but this is what really helps me, especially with putting more weight on the bar. You need to be as stable and as flexible as possible, just like that. So now moving on to upper body, I use the resistance band. Okay, and just to warm up my rear delts, because I use them a lot with a lot of the movements that I do, I take the resistance band. This is like 10-15 pounds. Okay, I'm gonna really like push my scapula out. You see, I'm pushing it out and I'm stretching like that. Okay, I'm pushing it out, bringing it towards my body. And when I'm holding it in this motion right here, I really feel the muscles working. So just from a back view, you see them really stretching. So I just do that for a couple of reps, and I try to go slow too to really activate the muscles. It's more about the quality, more, not the quantity that you do. But along with that too, I try to focus on my shoulder mobility by using the band, and I do a full 360. And I try to get my arms as straight as possible. I'm not bending my arms like this. I'm keeping them straight. Okay? Just like that. Yeah. And once I'm done with that, just to stretch out my chest now, I'll take the same band, I'll put it on my back, like near my upper back, and I'm holding it the same way that I did for those like 180 holds, and I'm pushing it out. Okay, it's like a bench press. You're pushing it out from your body. This really stretches out your chest too. So just do that for a couple reps. You can also mix this in with the 180s. Do 180s, stretch it out like that. All right, and now back to lower body. Let me get the parallettes for this one. But you see that these lower body stretches help you out with doing moves like the L-sit and also other things like that. So try to touch your toes, reach for your toes. If you can't reach your toes, use the resistance band. Like strap it onto your toes, like try to reach like that. Okay, and I try to make my head reach as far to the ground as it can get. But I'm gonna show you how that really helps you out, because when you're trying to do an L-sit, you need to be able to bring your legs up. You don't want them to be weak or unflexible, because that's gonna limit how good you can do an L-sit. But just for demonstration, you see, having good flexibility in your hamstrings really helps you out with doing moves like that. But now I also like to stretch out my hips by doing one variation of L-sits where I tuck my body in and I rotate myself with the parallel. Just for demonstration, I'll show you. Ooh. But the whole goal is to really get my body as flexible as I can get, so I can really compress myself and rotate myself with these. But it's like this. Yeah, but that's normally how I do my mobility routine. That's how I do my stretching routine. So I normally do this like before all my lifts, and this is what really helps me out too. So hope that you guys found this helpful and you can apply it to your own lifting and stretching routines. So I want to thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.